Hi guys, Deb the Awesome here to give you another Monster Legends Guides, where we talk about monsters' moves, rune sets, partners, all that jazz. Today we are talking about Alex Bone, the newest Team Race monster in Monster Legends. In this video, I'm going to be comparing Alex Bone here to the just the Team Race monsters. I don't usually do this, or just compare monsters to the other monsters that that aren't related to the element, but for this one I am going to relate them to the other team race monsters that have been out as of recently. Well, not two races, but overall Hercule. We got the whatchamacallit over here. Let's see, where is he? Lernian. We got the Bella. You get my point. Bella, Baltazar. You get my point. We're gonna compare him to all these guys. All these guys. For power, this guy's boasting a power of 3,498. This is a respectable power. It's above the gospel power. Uh, we prefer attackers with 465. If it's above that, it's even better. His single target attacks can take great advantage of this base power because I do believe most of them are 60 damage based. Most of them are. Uh, and his AoE damage. His AoE damage also scales with this. He's very proficient in AoE damage because, drum roll please, they run on one turn cooldowns. That's right, there are two special based AoEs that run on one turn cooldowns, and you should be running them. There's no reason not to. But we'll get to that when we talk about them. So yeah, this power is really nice. He's one of the more heavy-hitting Thunder monsters in the Thunder category. In terms of just overall, like, spreading out damage, he's really great at spread damage. Really proficient in that. I'd have to say he's one of the more cooldown efficient AoEers in the entire game. Simply because he can swap between his AoEs. He's very proficient. He doesn't have to. He doesn't have a one cooldown two turn cooldown AoEs. He has a 1 and a 1. That's really great. That's really healthy rotation. You can swap between them and essentially do a massive amount of AoE damage. Of course, as you start killing stuff, you don't need to do the AoE damage anymore. You can finish it off with the single targets based stuff, and that's totally fine. The point is, he can do a lot of spread damage. And in fact, if this thing was immune to possession, I'd say you guys should totally get this monster when he just comes out in the shop. That's just the thing, just like you can buy him out, just like him with 250 gems, you should get him when he comes out for that price. He's not immune to possession though, so that might all just straight up. That's a thing. I really wish this guy was at least immune to any like deny, just like any like stun, even like it's common. It would work with his element, the stuff he has to deal with here. He has to deal with Dr. Victor. He has to deal with the likes of Tempest. I don't know where Tempest is on this map. Tempest is over here. uh, we have a lot of stunners, and we have we have a possessor too in this category. We got Monster Device here, who can reboot, single target reboot. I do believe Simo does that too. I do believe he does that. We got quite a few monsters with single target stuns, mainly Griffix. I mean, not Griffix, Griffin, Vanoss, what have you. Just a lot of stunners. So that does hurt his playability. But if you're controlling the situation, that's obviously fine. His life is 27,747. This is a okay life. It's not too high, not too low. I'd say just a little above normal. I'd say like in terms of no, that's like the median 26. I put 26 on there for the median life for just there we go, median middle. uh, his speed is 3,465. Now, he actually runs gospel speed. He's faster than most Thunder attackers. He's not as fast as some of the more very popular ones, but he's pretty. He's there. He's pretty. What's up? He's got that speed. That speed's what's up. Pretty what's up. Uh, one word to this guy. Before I continue this guide, a lot of people ask me what I thought of this guy, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I think he's a real vulture. Vulture. Okay, because he's a thief and he's also a vulture. Yeah, the punts. Pretty cool design overall. The design looks pretty cool. He's really cool in terms of design. uh, his trait is immune to blind. Now this is resort. I will say this trait is resourceful. It keeps Uria's single target blind off him. It keeps a lot of Thunder monsters have a single target blind skill or hold an AoE blind skill. Mercurius blinds, Tempest blinds, Dr. Victor blinds. Everybody, a lot of Thunder monsters love to blind. You know what I'm saying? Blind to blind this, blind that. Can't see straight because he's blind. But this guy has great eyes apparently because he can see through enough to not be blinded. He cannot be blind. Except by greed. He can be blinded by greed, but that's about it. Hey, more jokes. uh, so yeah, he has that trait. I really wish this was immune to stun. I wish it was something. If it was immune to possession, perfect. That would be the best trait to give this thing because of the rotation on the cooldowns. Sure, he could be stunned by, he could be stunned, it's true like Thunder monsters stunned, but he had less problems with other categories of monsters that, you get my point. But if it was like immune to possession, you could put him on defense and his AoE, in terms of AI proof, it would be pretty spot on because it's again one turn cooldowns. They can reuse this stuff, and they have the tendency. A lot of the computers have the tendency to use lower cooldown moves more often than not. Unless it's a really powerful AoE, like the stamina drain. Because even the computers know it's broken. Because even the computers know. Because more often than not, you're going to get stamina drained. More often than not. So, single target move, Tan the Wise. Deals very heavy thunder damage to all enemies. Heals by 30%, gains 50% stamina back. Now, you usually just go by what it says right here. It says single enemy. So, I'm assuming it's single target based. And he heals himself by 30%, and he gets 50% energy back. Now, this is great if you got like stamina drain 50%, or like you have no stamina. I would say this is a resourceful ultimate at best. Not too efficient for an attacker. I must say it's pretty terrible for an attacker. Simply because one, it's single target based. Is it good for soloing someone out? Absolutely. Does it wipe out entire enemies? No. Single person. Now in game, it could actually hit everybody. That could be a thing. It could wind up hitting everybody on the field. But for at the moment, it says single enemy. Of course, like there are some moves that say single enemy, but it hits everybody, or like one ally, but it only just means it applies it on itself. That really bothers me. Like it says this, but it doesn't actually do the thing it says. You can find moves on several monsters, namely Hydrox, Freeze Immunity Shield, Virtue's self buff heal. It says one ally, but it actually just means itself. That's just the thing. But again, in terms of damage output, I mean, like in terms of enemy, I don't know if this is an AoE. All right, it's an alright AoE in terms of damage output. But for an attacker, I guess it depends on your situation. Since he doesn't have he has an alright life, but in order to capitalize on that healing, you need to put a life rune on him. You need to build the extra guy build if you want to take advantage of his ultimate. Just saying. 30% heal's not going to get you much if you don't build life with it. I'd just like to point out, apparently, Social Point decided to name all these guys' moves. All this guy's moves after, I think it was like Monster Legends Wiki, commenters or, guide making, what have you. And Armored Gaming's made it on the list. Armored Gaming, apparently his first name is Eric. I did not know that. I bet you didn't know that. I didn't know that either. So cool. That's cool. You learn something about someone every day. I think you would think this is referencing Armor Gaming. I mean, Eric's armor. You think? I think. I think that's pretty cool. That's what's up. I don't think there's anything in skill groups 1 worth mentioning. Everything is in skill groups 2 and 3. Paying the Marshal. This deals moderate thunder damage, applies evasion to itself. This is one of the sell points of this monster. This is the most favorite thing about this monster. Everybody loves. It gives evasion to damage. Now, if this evasion works just like evade all attacks until your next turn. Alright, I mean, like, you avoid all the damage. This is good if you ever get volt ticked. In fact, this is the only time you will probably ever use this move is when you're dealing with a Voltic, and hopefully this evasion lasts the whole time. Like, until your next turn. Which, for the most part, I do believe it does. Because if you ever use, like, High Mass or Taiga, it lasts until their next turn. So I'm assuming they just tossed out that they avoid the next, they avoid the next damage. I mean, like, they avoid damage on the next attack hit on them. I think they just tossed that completely out the window. that was I think that was their intention, but then they're like, let's just have it like that, because, because that would be fair. Can't damage them until, let's give these monsters space time. Why the hell not? Yeah, this is a pretty resourceful single target move. I highly recommend running it just because it's you don't need to run the AoE. The AoE is terrible, and you're like the AoE version, you hit everybody, and then it's a 30 damage AoE, and then you get of course you get evasion. But yeah, I think you should run this one versus the AoE because you're already going to be running two really awesome AoEs. You don't need that. You don't need that other AoE. Clacker's Desperation. Clacker's Desperation deals very heavy thunder damage, may daze target. It is a 65 damage, 31 stamina, 2-turn cooldown move. This is his hardest hitting thunder-based attack. This is effective against water-based monsters. I'd say run it if you want to deal with them quickly. That's all I have to say for this move. I think that's the only reason you should run it. The utility is nice too. You get a for sure utility move. I think in terms of a single target move, this is the only one that for sure lands. So you should probably think about that. There's only for sure landing status effect. Contravid Outbreak deals very heavy special damage, 50% chance of stunning target. Apparently this guy runs on 50% chance. Apparently he took a page from Two-Face from Batman. Decided to just coin flip his status effects. Because why not? Why not be cool? You should change that gem into a coin, sir. I'm just saying. It'd make your moves seem cooler. I'm just saying. I watch he does actually flip a coin when he attacks or something like that. Or he hits you with a coin. That'd be funny. That would be really funny. But yeah, this is a 1-turn cooldown move. In all honesty, I don't think he runs any 0-turn cooldown moves, which could be bothersome to some people, especially if you're dealing with Timeron, or anything that sets your cooldowns, like Lamuna. That's going to be an interesting fight for you. But yeah, this is his single target stun. Run this, I will say, if you want a special damage-based single target move that also stuns, so you have a chance to stun. If you first say missed your chance to stun with your AoE, because that runs on a 50% chance. My cellmate Hakataka deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies, applies evasion to itself. This is a 30 damage AoE, 3-turn cooldown, 35 stamina. This guy has a lot. I'm gonna say right now, in terms of stamina cost, and you're running these two AoEs to begin with. This is another reason why you shouldn't run the AoE, this thunder-based AoE that gives evasion too, because of the stamina cost. And again, you're already running these two really awesome AoEs. I really like these AoEs. Look at that. 40 damage AoE and a 45 damage AoE. What's not to love about that? That's amazing. The damage output on those AoEs, fantastic. The cycling, fantastic. Favorite thing about this monster. Yeah, this thing. I think you should only ever run this move if you just want to, like, hey, let's have 2 evasion moves. That's the only justification for running this. If you want to be unique and you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to run both evasion moves, try hitting me now. Try hitting me now! As you say to all your enemies. You can, this would work, I would say, if you wanted to make, like, a tank set, you could run both evasion evasion AoE and the single target evasion skill. So that means they just have more, they have to wait more to kill you, or they have to do more to kill you because you're not brittle at this point and you're pretty sustainable. But that's my only suggestion of why when you should ever run this AoE evasion. The stamina cost is just too high. You're already running 2 stamina high cost AoEs. I do know it's just the damage is poor. 30 damage. It's thunder based. So you're not going to do anything to that enemy Voltic, that enemy Tempest, what have you. Stuff that you really, in all honesty, a lot of people like talk trash about a lot of the Thunder monsters in the Thunder category, but they tend to have the tendency to do the most annoying stuff. Jiranuria, you know, it can be tanky. He has a lot of single target utility, really heavy hitting. Dr. Victor, AoE blind, burning, basically Thunder Egg Eater. Come on now. Why are we talking crap about all these monsters? These monsters are pretty great in terms of Thunder monsters. I'll never understand people. Oh, just use Voltic. You know, and these other Thunder monsters are pretty amazing. Next we're at AoE stun, damage reduction. So a lot of them, a lot of damage reduction all around. Just a lot of stuff to annoy the ever-living piss out of you. Yeah, that's that. Moving on. Behiro Max Authority. This is one of his AoEs. This is 40 damage, 1 turn cooldown, 35 stamina cost AoE that does a 50% chance of stunning everybody on the field. 50%, so coin flip everybody. When everybody's hit by this, a coin is flipped, and you know, it's a 50-50 chance. You have a chance to land heads, you have a chance to land tails. It could help you, it could not help you, you know, just in terms of just landing the effect. But in terms of the damage output on this thing, you need to run the skill. It's too absurd not to run. Just by doing these two AoEs alone, if you're building damage and you have high damage, you don't even need to set up. You just need to rotate between these two. Or like once you reach a certain damage point, since if they're not running, you know, life from, you're gonna waste them. It's just between these two AoEs alone. It's more than enough. It's just the damage output is constant and everybody's getting hit. Everybody's taking a large amount of damage between the two turns. Of course, the game will go faster when you have, like, you know, double damage up. Of course, you don't have to use one at that point, but you know, you get my point. The efficiency is there. You can swap between the two, and the AoE damage is really awesome. It's interesting because we just received, not too long ago, we received Thyra, which is really great for AoE damage, and now we have another AoE damage dealer. So basically, there are 3 AoE damage dealers in the Thunder category that do really a lot of damage, especially if you rank them up or give them really high damaging runes, which is Exoskill, Thyra, and Alex Bone. Just amazing AoE damage presence. Of course, Exoskills, in terms of just in terms of move base, like, he only holds Thunder base, so he does hold. You could say he does hold the weaker forms of AoEs, but you know, he's got a lot of power. All these monsters, I like to say too, all these AoEers have really good, solid AoE damage. Just straight up. I mean, like, their base power is also really high too, so it just scales really well. Hell's Fire Fluro deals moderate special damage to all enemies, may daze everybody. It's a 50% chance to daze. So if you ever use Uriel, this isn't a new move to you. This is, if anything, it's a upgraded version of Uriel's AoE. You should be running this move. Same reasons as the last one. Great damage base. It's 45 damage, 5 more damage than the stun. It's, you know, 35. It's a lot of stamina, true, but you know, it runs on a 1-turn cooldown. It just rotates really nicely. I would like to say stamina regen also got buffed. So that's really nice. It helps this monster cycle through even more. In fact, while he has stamina regen up, he's not even going to use any. Like, he's going to get, like, you know, we have 41 back, and essentially you're going to be winding up getting just over stamina. You're going to get back to 140 stamina, no sweat at all, no care in the world. He just has none. He cares none. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Clicked on my screen. So yeah, you should be running both AoEs. So moveset, both AoEs, both these special base AoEs, no reason not to. Run the evasion skill, it's just a utility thing. And you should run this single target special base stun, simply because you're already running a special base move, you know. I mean, not a special base, a thunder base move now. So have the other 3 be, you know, special base if you so desired. You could not run this move right here, the single target stun. You could run the thunder based single target move. I'm gonna say you should run you should run the Outbreak simply because you can deal with Thunder monsters even more so. If you really need to single target out a Thunder monster, here's your move to do that. I think that's a good idea. So yeah, paying the Marshal, Outbreak, Authority, and Hellfire. That's my moveset for you. Now let's compare him to the other Team Race monsters. All the other Team Race monsters have either gotten hardened. You could say the last three have. Like, the last three totally have hardened. That's just, so it's a 20% chance not to get hit by a status effect. So it's kind of like a mini general trait. So that's really nice. I find that universally great. It's, a chance not to get hit by something. That's nice. In terms of immunity to blind, that's great for, it's somewhat great for attackers if you're actually dealing with stuff that blinds. Blind's annoying. As far as I'm concerned, blind can just screw anyone's day. If they're blinded, you have a coin flip chance of hitting or missing. I find it as a good utility thing in terms of, just like, AoE blinding is a good utility. The trade blind itself, it's all right. So there are stuff that use blind. It doesn't mean this guy doesn't use it in his own category. There are Thunder monsters that blind. Again, Dr. Victor, Tempest, Mercurius. Some do single target blind like Uria. I think Vanos has a blind too. Yeah, Vanos has a blind, single target blind. I do believe Griffin does an AoE blind. So yeah, a lot of Thunder monsters can blind. That is useful, but in terms of avoiding deny, that I think if he had a avoiding to deny, if he had like immunity style, better. It would be better. So you can put him on defense. You can't put him on defense. You can use him on the attack, of course, but you can't use him on defense. I really wish you could. I really wish you could put this thing on defense. It would be a good defensive monster because it would be one of those monsters that can get away with anything I wanted to. For the most part, of course, like there's always counter picking, but I feel like for the most part, if this thing was immune to possession, especially, I feel like you put it on defense, no problem at all. I like AoE attackers that are immune to possession because you can put them on defense without worrying about them. That's just the thing. You can build, of course, you can build your team comp around the idea of monsters being able to give immunities. That's also a fair play or a fair statement. They are really, I would say, the immunity bros, Brotai, Kalik, Sarah. I'm pretty much gonna mention them every time there is a trait. This is just a horrible trait for a monster because those are the monsters you pair it up with, so they run better. They just do. It just gives them immunity to the whole deny. It's a good defensive counter. It's just really good for that. So in terms of trait, not the prettiest in terms of the other team race monsters. Hercule got immune to freeze. I'd say like overall the one with the best immunity so far is our champ here, Hercule. Hercule here, Metal Hercule. The legend Hercule, the champion Hercule, the champ, Hercule the champ, got the best trait since he is immune to freeze. Really nice, really resourceful. The most common deny in the game, and he's immune to it. That's amazing. Let's talk about moves. So in terms of moves, I do love his AoEs. I think his AoEs are a lot better than the whatchamacallit guy here. The Balthazar, I do believe is Balthazar. Yep, Balthazar. I think his AoEs are better than Balthazar. True, he holds DOT AoE. Balthazar holds DOT AoEs. I think they're both dark. Aren't they both dark based? So it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do you any good against. It doesn't do you any good against dark based monsters. I find Alex Bone holds more AoE power over Balthazar than Alex Bone holds more AoE damage over Balthazar in terms of just natural based AoE. He hits everybody. Neutral base, that's really neutral damage. I'd rather have neutral AoE damage versus just two dark based AoEs that essentially apply the same DOT. It just has a coin flick. Each one has a chance to apply the other effect by a 50% chance, but the other is a 100% chance. That jazz. I'd also like to say Balthazar got the. I think Balthazar got immunity to possession too. That's another thing. I forgot Balthazar didn't get hard, and he got immunity to possession. So that's going good for him. He got a lot of possessors he has to deal with. So that's nice. You can put him on defense without a care in the world. I still think I really wish his AoEs were better in terms of just. I think they were both dark based. I think they were. I can't remember them being special based. But that was just the thing. So in terms of AoE damage, spot on. Dealing with in terms of Baltazar. I can't remember if Hercule carried a special based AoE. I can't remember if it was metal based or special based. But regardless, I think in terms of AoE damage, just in terms of AoE damage, in terms of rotation, Alex Bone just beats all the recent Team War monsters in terms, not Team War, Team Race monsters. I'm sorry. Just in terms of rotation, it's just really great. His damage is great. His rotation's great. Enough said. Overall, let's put him on an overall note. Is he better than the Team Race monsters of past? That's a good question. It's really one hard to say because nobody's ever tried to mount in Moria. Nobody has them really yet. People aren't going to get them until the races are over. So. That's a thing. It's just kind of one of those monsters you have to wait to see if it's really, really good on, really, really good. Right now, at the moment, he doesn't have an immune to deny, so you have to pair him up with things that give immunities to the deny. I think if you can give him what he needs, he'll perform just fine for you. I can imagine. If you cover his needs on a defensive team, he'll run really great. I'm pretty sure he'll be absurd if you can cover his weaknesses. He'll do a lot of damage, and yeah. I also feel I don't feel like the evasion is his strongest or biggest thing. Like a lot of people are saying, "Oh wow, he's got evasion. That's amazing." I can see a lot of people running both. I wouldn't run both. I'd run one. I don't like run. I know words. Run. I'd run one. I feel like running 2 is unnecessary. I find his high points actually in the fact he has low cooldown AoEs. That's my favorite thing about them. I feel like people are kind of milking that weight a little too much. If you look at other people that can do this, their sets, I feel like their sets are more better suited with more like when you look at this guy's evasion, he doesn't have anything to combo off that. I mean, like, he doesn't get more. Like, he doesn't have anything to go with his possession. You know, not his possession, his evasion. Let's look at Taiga first. You know, let's look at some monsters that do have evasion and what they can do with that. Taiga can self-set up while also evading. I find that's one of the better self-setups in the entire game. I find that really great. That Taiga is really great. He can use it. He can use the evasion. He's evading while also doing something else. High mass. Now, I think, like, if you like that, people probably look at the stats. It's like, oh, he's actually really nice. I'm gonna say right now, if you wanted a really good, dark tank, this guy's a really good monster to look into. I've played quite a few games with high mass, and it's funny. High mass. I'm gonna say high mass is really great with it. I'm gonna say right now, high mass is one of the better evasion monsters at the moment. Or like he only has one true. Does it run on a 4-turn cooldown? Also true. But during the time he's he's got that whole next turn, like he's not gonna take any damage until his next turn, that's how evasion works. He can taunt, and essentially that draws in all the attacks. Can he get single target stunned? Can he get denied? No, yeah, he can still be denied too. That's the problem with all evasion in general. Is you can still get denied even though you're avoiding damage. If they're doing a deny on you, you can be denied. But while he's evading, he's drawing in all the single target attacks. So that means enemy Barbatos can't single out something that they really need dead. Enemy really like the enemy attacker in general can't single out the enemies it needs to single out, or like things that have lower base life. That's how the AI works. They attack the thing with the lowest base life. High mass can save him. That's amazing. That's really great. Does it do you any good against AoE damage? No, but single target damage. If it's a single base move, he's not gonna. High mass here is not gonna take any damage, and he just draws it to him. He's just gonna draw it to him and does no damage. It does the enemy no good to do single target attacks, and better off it's the AI. So the AI is probably gonna do a single target attack, even with the knowledge of him doing the evasion taunt, which is nice. I want to say Alex Bone doesn't have a combo with his evasion. He doesn't have, that, he's got the bread, he doesn't have the butter, he doesn't have the topping. That's the best way to describe it. At least from my beginning view, if I use him, if I actually do wind up using Alex Bone, if I actually do wind up getting Alex Bone in the future, heavyweight event, or just I like, oh hey, maybe I should actually get him, try him out, it does look kind of like a bird. I made a joke on this monster. That's if I can make a really positive joke, if I can, I laughed at that vulture. That vulture joke was really funny. I'll try him. I'll see how good the evasion is. If it's really good, I'll let you guys know. I really wish it combo. I really wish it did this plus something else. Right now, at the moment, that's looking at the other two evasion monsters. There's probably more than one, but at the moment, but more than the stuff I talked about. But at the moment, I'm thinking of those two, and they run really great. But yeah, I wish he had like the butter. He's got the bread. He doesn't got the butter. I really wish he had the butter. He didn't get. He just got the bread. Uh, but evasion is still like, pretty good. It's good in avoiding damage. But another thing is it doesn't necessarily avoid. Again, it doesn't avoid you from being denied, which is a bad thing. So let's talk about partners now. Since I was just done talking about that, Kalik. You run Kalik or Bowtie, Sarah, Monster Device. You can't really put Monster Device on defense because he's not immune to deny. So in terms of a defensive sense, you should put Sarah, Kalik, and or Bowtie. I'm gonna say Bowtie is his best friend. Run Bowtie with any of these monsters immune to blind days. Stun, just no, not stun. I mean, anything that's not immune to deny. Run anything with that with Bowtie. If you're gonna put this on defense, run Bowtie. That's a mandatory thing. Just run something that gives immunity to a deny with this monster. Just if you're gonna put him on defense, that's all I'm saying. But just in terms of attacking, since you can do that too. I'm gonna say things that give him stamina regen. Also, that's another Kalik point. She can give stamina regen. Bowtie also gives stamina regen. Another just the same. They're true. They're the same. Yes, but yeah, you get my point. Really resourceful for this man. Demise is broken with him. Just saying, Demise is gonna be so broke. If you run Demise with the thing, you're kind of a dick. Well, what have you? But that's that can be said with pretty much any attacker. And especially an attacker running full strength units. Yeah, that's when you know you and your friends are trolling. If there's ever a live PvP and somebody brings this with full damage and then Demise, they're like, why are you doing this to me, man? Why? I thought we were friends. I thought you wanted a game, not a pub stop match. uh, yeah, Demise works with universally any attacker in the game. That's just how she works. So as long as she's ahead of the game, of course. So as long as she gets the turn in without being denied, and she can do Strength from Beyond. Yeah, that's the thing with Demise. So that works well. I'm gonna say, I guess for the most part, he really doesn't. He's not really asking for much partners. He's not asking for much. I'd say just major partners, but in terms of just because he does all the damage. He just needs someone to deny him. So any deny you feel like putting him up with, would work really well with him. I'm gonna say Lamuna. Lamuna works really great. With anyone. I've been using her too recently in terms of just dungeon fights. I've been messing around with the single target skill reset. It's amazing. Being able to set a cooldown, just all that jazz. That's a good monster to pair it up with. Because you can give it immunity to possession. That's really universally great for any AoE attacker. And the second thing is she can set all the cooldowns on the enemy denier. Really resourceful, really great. That's all I have to say about this wonderful, interesting monster that I made a really clever joke out of. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Alex Bones. Overall, I'd say he's an alright monster. He passes in my okay book. I have to use him in the future just to see how ridiculous he can be. I already know just straight off the bat the AoE damage alone will entertain me. It'll suffice me. I'll be like, okay, this is what I do, Dib, and it's like, all right, you're hired. You're hired on the team. Congratulations, you got a spot on the team. Shake the hands. Bam, go do some damage, Alex Bone. Go cause havoc. Really nice monster. I give it the thumbs up. He's got the Dib stamp of approval. I really wish you could put this on defense without worrying about it being denied, though. That's all I'm saying. It's just straight up all I'm saying. I don't think I mentioned runes. Runes real quick. You can run the stereotypical damage build. 2 damage and a speed. You could run the extra guy build. This guy runs really great base stats all around the board. The life rune would scale with the Tan of the Wise. Just would. There's no point to put stamina rune on it. Stamina regen is more than enough. Run stamina regen if you're having troubles with the monster stamina cost. Enough said. That's all I have to say about Alex Bone. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm Did the Awesome. I'll catch you guys later.